Nutrition wise, what are you able to do to support your breast health? Well, the number one thing, and this is a nutrient that I feel like we so often overlook, is iodine. Iodine is vitally essential for healthy breast tissue, healthy ovaries. For men, it's vitally important for healthy prostate. And for both men and women, it's also vitally important for your cardiovascular health. I learned about the importance of iodine for my health the hard way. After being diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, I was referred to an endocrinologist who recommended that I eliminate as much iodine as possible from my diet. So this involved discontinuing my daily multivitamin because it had iodine added into it, and involved avoiding dairy and any kind of seaweed. So, sushi was out and things like that. Within 1 month of this new, very restrictive iodine diet, I developed a breast cyst and started doing my own research to figure out that iodine is essential for breast health. Lest your healthcare provider has the same wrong views as my endocrinologist regarding iodine, go ahead and refer to the downloadable references section. There are so many great resources there. Quite a few peer-reviewed scientific literature articles are linked to that. There are a couple of podcast episodes and blog posts, podcast episodes linking back to blog posts that have peer-reviewed scientific journals attached as the references that are cited in those articles. In addition, there are links over to some premier doctors in the field of iodine research and conversations that people have had with them on the importance of iodine for your health. So check all of those resources out in the references section. Just a reminder about the disclaimer here. I am not a doctor. I'm not a licensed healthcare provider or healthcare practitioner. I am not your healthcare provider. So, as always, consult with your own healthcare team. That said, if you are seeing a healthcare person who is recommending that you avoid iodine, find somebody else. So that is the advice I can give. Find somebody else. All right, because it is absolutely essential for your health. And breast health is no exception. So iodine supports, there are multiple studies done showing that administering iodine or supplementing with iodine while women are on different breast cancer therapies improves their outcome. There are multiple studies showing that iodine helps to reverse fibrocystic breast disease. So iodine is critically important. Iodine also helps to lower the amount of aromatase, which is the enzyme that converts testosterone into estradiol within your breast tissue. And yes, your breast tissue has levels, actually pretty high levels of aromatase in it. So anyways, I cannot stress how important iodine is for your health. On to two other nutrients that are very supportive of breast health. The first of the, or I guess at this point, the second of these is B vitamins. So folate in particular, and very interestingly, hormonal contraception reduces your body's ability to absorb both folate and vitamin B12 from the foods that you eat. Folate is considered one of the most important nutrients for breast health, and here you'll want to be sure that you're eating foods that are rich in folate rather than foods that are fortified with folic acid. There's a difference in how your body uses both of these. There's a difference in the health effects between both of these, folic acid and folate. So again, you're opting for folate. Strange as it sounds, breathe deep. Supporting your body into switching into rest and digest and out of that fight or flight response improves its ability to absorb nutrients from your digestive tract. This is something that I go into deeper in the course, An Ayurvedic View of Your Menstrual Cycle. That's actually a really quick listen. It's about an hour long video to talk through how you're able to support your body from an Ayurvedic perspective and have a healthier menstrual cycle. That course is completely free. So you'll find it linked in the references section as well. And again, this dives deeper into why being able to shift into that rest and digest state supports your body's ability to absorb nutrients from your digestive tract. And here specifically, quite a bit of research has been done around vitamin B12 and your body's ability to absorb it better when you're in that rest digest state. And just deep breathing helps with that. Magnesium is the third nutrient. Magnesium is also required for breast health, and it's also depleted in women who use hormonal contraception. So this kind of begs the question of, why? Like, why is it depleted? Well, here's the deal. Folate and magnesium both support a wide range of enzymatic processes within your body. And so another reason why they may be depleted when you're taking hormonal birth control is that your body's using these nutrients for other processes, because hormonal birth control really takes a toll on your body. It increases oxidative stress within your body, and this places more demand for creation of antioxidants within your body. And creation of those antioxidants like superoxide dismutase and a whole host of other antioxidants within your body are things that these nutrients like folate and magnesium are involved in the process of creating these antioxidants. So glutathione, superoxide dismutase, several other antioxidants. Number 4, cholesterol and good quality fats. While your body is entirely capable of making about 80% of your cholesterol needs every single day, your sex hormones, estradiol and progesterone, are made from cholesterol. And so being sure that you have ample cholesterol in your diet gives your body more fuel for creating these sex hormones. Because these hormones compete with synthetic estrogen, again, that ethinyl estradiol, and then also synthetic progesterone in the native estrogen and progesterone receptors within your body, sufficient levels of both of these natural hormones make it more likely that your body will release those bound synthetic hormones for elimination. So they'll, release, this is, I feel like adequate intake of cholesterol and good quality fats is so important, especially when you first stop taking hormonal contraceptives, because it really helps with that elimination process. It helps with that half-life turnover, just supporting your body's detox. At this stage, this is when those hormones, those synthetic hormones, are most likely bound to those estrogen receptors. So if you start taking cholesterol, start being sure that you're getting enough cholesterol in your diet leading up to and in that month or so after you stop taking hormonal contraception, you're really helping your body to clear those, because what you're doing is essentially, because the body, this is an Ayurvedic perspective, the body really doesn't like to give things up. When it gives something up, it wants to replace those things with something. And so what you're doing is supplying it with ample amounts of natural estrogen and progesterone in order to encourage it to release those synthetic hormones from your system. And so these estrogen receptors, now as the concentration of your natural hormones is high, there's a higher likelihood that it's going to let go of those synthetic hormones. And then when it binds again, because the concentration of your natural hormones is so high, chances are high that when it binds again, it's going to bind to one of your natural hormones. And then what that means is the synthetic hormone left over here is more likely to get swept into your bloodstream by way of your lymph and make its way out of your body with the support of that lymph flow. Because again, your lymph system feeds into your cardiovascular system, Unlike your cardiovascular system, which is a complete, we often think of it as a closed circuit, your lymph only flows one way. That said, your lymph is continuously replenished within your body, and so, turned over within your body. It goes through uh, your liver for detox. And again, this is something that we talked about over in the detox. So I'm going to guide you back there to listen in on that video for more rather than kind of going down a tangent, which I have a tendency to do. Okay, so anyways, so hopefully that's painted a kind of a clear picture of why you would want, first of all, like your body just needs sufficient levels of cholesterol anyways, because it's not just your sex hormones, it's essentially any steroidal based hormone within your body. So here we're talking cortisol, we're talking the androgens, the male hormones like DHEA, testosterone, which women have a little bit of, right? Um, so, and then we're talking progesterone and estrogen as well, those all being steroidal based hormones, and those all need cholesterol. And yes, again, your liver's more than capable of producing about 80% of your daily needs of cholesterol, but you want to be sure that you're getting those into your diet as well. And if you're looking for a good source, of course, good sources of cholesterol are butter, ghee, and eggs. The last one, fat cleans fat. This is an ancient Ayurvedic concept, and it aligns with what we know from a Western science perspective, that like dissolves like. When you give your body sufficient fat, it's much easier for your body to give up its fat stores. So turn over its fat stores and release those synthetic hormones that are bound within the fat tissues. And this goes back to what I just mentioned about, in Ayurveda, the idea is that your body doesn't like to give things up. It likes to feel full. It likes to be replenished. It likes to feel replete instead of depleted. And so anytime you're in an elimination process or seeking detox, it's really the nutrition piece of that is really important, because what you're putting in is going to replace what you're trying to eliminate. And so here, being sure that you're getting enough fat into your diet. And not only that, but just fat in general. As women in a Western world, we have been trained, like we've been conditioned to believe that fat is bad, and nothing could be further from the truth. There is so much research supporting how vital fat is for fertility and for all of your bodily processes. And in fact, Amy Rapp's book, she has several books, and she discusses how much fat you really need in your diet. And it's, Amy Rapp is known for supporting women in getting pregnant, and especially women who have found difficulty in getting pregnant. And I realize that you may be here not interested in being pregnant. I cannot stress enough how important healthy fertility is, regardless of whether you're trying to get pregnant or not. And this took me decades to realize, like decades to understand. Hence why I was on the birth control pill for so long. And Amy recommends it's either 35% or 45% fat in your diet. So that is a lot of fat. And here, there's always the question of, oh, well, should it be saturated fat? Should it be unsaturated fat? Yada, yada, yada. Your body needs all of it. Your cellular membranes are composed of both monounsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, and saturated fats. So you kind of need all of it. And when we're talking about fat, it's really those saturated fats, the animal fats, that are going to have the cholesterol in it that your body needs. They're essentially the fodder or the raw material that's used. They're the starting point for all of these steroidal hormones in your body. And so this is really why it's so hard for vegans to be as healthy as possible, because they're missing that. So if you are vegan, if it's possible to consider becoming maybe vegetarian, incorporating some dairy, which, dairy is a huge kind of trigger point for people. So either dairy or eggs into your diet just to, give your body that cholesterol that it needs. So anyways, all right, we'll move on from fat. The last one, the fifth one, is phytoestrogens. Flax is my favorite food for supporting breast health when we're talking phytoestrogens. Grind your flaxseed daily in a coffee grinder and store your whole flax seeds in the fridge or the freezer until you're ready to eat them. The reason for that, because flax is so rich in omega-3 unsaturated fatty acids. So the same kind of omega-3s that are in fatty fish are also in flaxseed. And flaxseed, what makes flaxseed so great and what makes it act as a phytoestrogen is the amount of lignans in it. So flaxseed oil and flaxseed are two very distinct things. We're going for the flaxseed here. And by grinding it, you're helping to make those lignans better available to your body, because what happens when you consume flax seeds whole oftentimes is that, first of all, even if you think you're doing a pretty good job chewing, and most of us don't chew enough, so just keep that in mind. Even if you think you're doing a pretty good job chewing, chances are, because of this very small nature of the flaxseed, you're not actually breaking that flaxseed open. And unless it's broken open, it's really not available to your digestive tract to absorb those nutrients and those lignans that we need. So that, absorb those phytoestrogens from that flaxseed. Now, there is flaxseed oil that is cold pressed and also contains lignans. The flax seeds themselves are so much cheaper compared to flaxseed oil. And there you're getting a rich source of lignans. One more thing on this, when we're talking seeds and grains, of course, are a type of seed, right? When we're talking seeds and grains, this is where it's critically important to buy organic. When we're talking nuts, I quite honestly don't feel it's as critical to get organic nuts, because most of the time nuts are coming off trees. And so when we're talking, exposure to glyphosate, which is Roundup, weed killer, that kind of thing, glyphosate's often used in processing seeds and grains in particular. To my knowledge, it's not used in processing nuts, because again, you're not going to go through an orchard and spray all of your almond trees with glyphosate. Why glyphosate is so high supposedly in almonds, I don't know, but I know for a fact that exposure to non-organic grains and seeds increases your exposure to glyphosate. And this is also a case where it increases your exposure to pesticides. We could sit here and talk back and forth about the logistics of, well, what about pesticide use in nut trees? I'm still on the fence with this, just because when we're talking pesticides, pesticides also affect bees, and there are so many almond farmers almond farmers are absolutely reliant on bees for pollinating the almond trees and for, developing the next crop of almonds. And I'm using almonds here specifically because I feel like it's probably one of the most consumed nuts here in the West. So, and I mean, plus just because I know more about almond production than I do things like, production of cashews or pistachios or something. So, anyways, we could go off on a tangent with that, and I pulled up studies on Google and know what it says. I'm just saying, from a logical point of view, the farmers are relying on the bees for pollinating their almond crops. There's a vested interest in not using pesticides, at least during certain times of the year, on those almond trees. Now, if you can find organic everything, seeds, nuts, grains, even better. And to me, that's where I opt for organic seeds, nuts, grains, and absolutely sugar. Because again, glyphosate is heavily used in the drying process for non-organic sugar. So, and why pull this in? Well, not necessarily because glyphosate in particular, but because many pesticides are synthetic xenoestrogens. What is a xenoestrogen? It's a non-natural estrogen mimicker within your body. And these, just like hormonal birth control, specifically ethinyl estradiol, compete with those estrogen receptors in your body. Many of these synthetic xenoestrogens are known for adverse health effects. And so this is where, again, it's so important to replace, to provide your body good quality stuff to replace the stuff that you're trying to get rid of. And definitely when we're talking things that are rich in phytoestrogens, and this is really kind of my metric, is things that are rich in phytoestrogens. So this would be any kind of seeds, flaxseed, sesame seed, sunflower seed, pumpkin seed, any kind of seeds. You may recognize those four from seed cycling. Any kind of seed. These are all typically very rich in phytoestrogens. And so providing your body with the organic version of these, or an organically made, organically grown one of these, is so much more helpful. So anyways, all right, that wraps it up for the breast health part of it. I'll see you in the next module.